This is a follower submitted story, and it's titled, Am I the Astronaut for Putting My Foot Down About My Wedding? I am getting married late 2024. When I got engaged, my mother became a Momzilla. When my older sister got married, it was like a courthouse with none of us there to a guy we didn't like. So my parents never got to have a big wedding or plan anything. I've never been the girl to plan out her perfect wedding and never knew right away what I wanted. The night I got engaged, my mom bombarded me with all sorts of questions and was panicking. We were engaged for about a week and she was freaking out about us picking a date for the wedding. My fiance and I originally wanted a small, intimate wedding with just select family. I got screamed at for that idea. For months, my mother was on me to find a venue we wanted. When my fiance and I found a venue we liked, we checked it out. I knew that it was the one that I wanted. My mother was trying to push us to look at a place she told us about. It was a basic wedding venue, nothing special. I told her I found what I wanted, but she of course complained to my dad about it. Yes, my parents are paying for the wedding. However, they have insisted on it because it's tradition. She didn't like the fact that we looked at one venue and was still trying to push for a different one. She was pestering me about the wedding and every detail about it. I mean, it was almost daily she was telling me what I needed to do for it. One of the wedding colors is black, which surprisingly she was okay with. I thought of wearing a black wedding dress and told my mother about this. I told her that I would wear a black dress and so would my bridesmaids. My mother then said, I'm going to wear a black dress. I told her if I'm wearing a black dress and so is my bridal party, then why would she? She said fine, but then told me that she wanted to renew her vows at my wedding reception. Oh, she just stepped it up to a whole new level. It's not just I want to control everything. It's not I want to pay for everything. It is not I get, to overrule the bride and remove her veto power. I want to actually hijack the reception and make it about me. Like not even just covertly like most mother-in-laws do. And, decide to throw a fit or create some drama. No, she wants to renew her vows at the reception. Cool. Not even in this fashion asking. It's like, hey, we thought this would be really sweet. Is this something you would be open to? No, it's I want to do this. My mother also had issues with the wedding colors. She really wanted to add another color to the wedding colors. I kept telling her no. When we went wedding dress shopping, she tried that color on. She then said it could go with the colors that she wanted, and that's when I told her no. My mother has issues with basically everything. I had a dress I already owned but never got to wear due to 2020. It was my wedding colors, and I was thinking of having a skirt made to go over it. She yelled at me because that's a prom dress, not a wedding dress. And said that we are going wedding dress shopping and you will not deny me that right. When we went wedding dress shopping, she started looking at a flower girl dress, and when I told her I already had them picked out. When I showed her, she made a face of disgust and went, well, what about this? And I told her no. She said what she didn't like about the dress, and I told her, well, I like it, and a good thing it's not your wedding, as I walked away. Ooh, them's fighting words. My fiance decided he didn't want to wear a traditional suit and tie, which my mother, of course, had something to say about that. When it came to find a DJ and photographer for the wedding, my mom was on me for it, telling me how they book fast and I need to get on it already. I told her I've been looking around and she told me I need to get serious about it and find someone. It was every day that I was getting calls about finding one. We found a photographer, but the DJ was still up in the air. I told my mother, worst case, we'll use the speaker if needed. That it wasn't the end of the world. Oh my gosh, how my mother threw a huge fit. She told me that it would be trashy and that she's not paying for a trashy wedding. I told her that I never wanted this kind of wedding and I didn't ask for her help, which I was told, yes, you did. You can't pay for this on your own. It was then that I ended the call with my mother and I didn't talk to her for a day. My fiance and I were so close to just calling off the wedding. I sent my mother a message stating it's a worst case scenario and it doesn't make it trashy. I told her that they have insisted on paying for the wedding. If they don't want to, then fine. However, if they do, then it's not to be held over my head. My mother has not talked to me much since I said all that. She claims that I don't love her, that I hate her, and she doesn't know what she did to deserve all this hate. She's still giving me grief about the wedding and some issues about doing certain things, such as my bachelorette party invitations, etc. I know there are things that my fiance and I want for the wedding that she will probably not agree with. I just want to know if I would be the astronaut for putting my foot down finally about what we want, or just to go with and let my mom be happy. I have my fiance, his family, and our friends telling us to put our foot down. A piece of me feels like this might cause more drama and that I can just suffer through my wedding day to please everyone. I also know that depending on what my mom has to say to family members that it could cause drama because my family is very critical about everything. They always talk a lot of crap. I don't talk to my mom's side of the family anyway. I only talk to about 3 people from her side, but one is a critical person. Should I just put my foot down and do what makes me happy? Yes, you should just put your foot down. What was the initial question here? Am I the astronaut for putting my foot down about my wedding? No, you wouldn't be the astronaut. You need to do it, and here's why. People who are getting married do not realize when a situation like this comes up, they don't realize that this is not just the wedding. This is a control play that will determine the rest of your life, how it's going to play out. If you let her have this, you've heard the expression, give an inch and they take a mile. That's exactly what would happen here. Consider your wedding an inch in the grand scheme of your adult life, right? Or your married life here. You probably plan on having kids. You probably plan on moving at some point. You probably plan on a lot of married things, right? If you let mother exert control here, she's going to get a say in everything else that you do after this point. She wasn't just trying to control your wedding. She was trying to hijack it. She was trying to make this her wedding, number one. So there's a massive power play going on here. If she wants to have her own wedding, she can throw her own to renew her wedding vows wherever the hell she wants, and she can make that a separate deal. If you do not put your foot down now, you are opening up the possibility, a stronger possibility, of her making a play for control over everything else that you do in your adult life. Heaven forbid you have kids. That's when shit's really going to hit the fan if you give in here. This is the time to create boundaries. Yes, she's paying for it. She doesn't have to. She gets a vote. She doesn't get the veto vote. She doesn't get the final say. And unless she's willing to accept those terms, tell them to screw off. They don't have to pay for anything. You can do the little thing that you guys want to do. Just make it your own way. You have to create and reinforce and stand by your boundaries here, or there will be hell to pay later on. This go along to get along approach that you think is not going to create drama, it's going to create drama too. And if her side of the family talks shit no matter what, they're going to talk shit no matter what. You cannot prevent that from happening. They are who they are. They need the drama to survive. It's just going to be whatever the topic is that day. It's not going to not happen. It's just a matter of, is it going to be about you or not? If her side of the family talks shit, wouldn't you rather the story be, wow, her daughter finally stood up to her and wouldn't let her bully her around, rather than, this is really the mom's wedding. She's renewing her vows at the reception. She picked out all this stuff. It's everything that she wanted. What would you rather that narrative be? They're going to talk shit no matter what. You choose the story. It is more important to me, though, to look at this as a precursor for the rest of your lives. How much control are you willing to let her have? You want her to determine where you're going to live, what job you're going to do, how your kids are going to be raised? Or do you want to make those decisions yourself with your partner?